Welcome to our channel. Imagine holding a dime that could change your life. Today, we're uncovering the most valuable Roosevelt dimes that could be worth thousands of dollars. Watch till the end to find out which ones could make you a fortune. Top 1. Imagine holding a coin so ordinary, so familiar, that you wouldn't give it a second glance. A simple dime. Light in your hand, smooth around the edges, probably a bit worn from years of use. It's one of the most common coins in the United States, a coin you've likely handed over for a soda, dropped into a parking meter, or left forgotten in your car's cup holder. But what if that same, everyday coin turned out to be hiding something incredible? What if one of those unassuming dimes, specifically from the year 1976, carried a secret so rare and so valuable that it could completely transform someone's life? This is where the story of the 1976 Roosevelt one dime gets interesting. On the surface, there's nothing particularly special about this coin. It wasn't part of a commemorative set. It wasn't redesigned like the bicentennial quarter, half-dollar, or dollar coins that got special reverse designs in celebration of America's 200th birthday. The dime in 1976 continued with the same design that had been in place since 1946, the profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front, and the torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch on the reverse. It looked like any other dime. But deep in that year's mintage, a few pieces came off the press with incredibly rare characteristics. Details that most people would never notice. Mistakes that turned out to be golden opportunities for those lucky enough to recognize them. The coins were struck at the U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia and Denver for circulation, with proof versions coming out of San Francisco. In total, hundreds of millions were produced. Most of them followed the same, routine process. They were minted, inspected, bagged, and sent out into circulation, used by millions of Americans in their everyday transactions. But the scale of production at the mint, combined with the wear and tear on the machinery and occasional human error, means that not all coins are created equal. And in that massive production run, a very small number of dimes escaped into the world with unexpected differences, errors so unique that decades later, they've turned these small coins into treasures. Some of these errors are relatively simple: an off-center strike, where the design isn't perfectly aligned and part of the image is cut off. Others are more dramatic, double-struck coins where elements of the design are stamped more than once, overlapping slightly to create a ghosted or shadowed effect. In extremely rare cases, the coin might have been struck on the wrong metal blank, a planchet intended for another coin entirely, like a penny or even a foreign coin. There are even dimes where the reeded edge is missing, or where key features of the design are unusually faint, suggesting worn dies were used during production. Now, these coins are difficult to find. They're not the kind of thing you can spot with a casual glance. You'd have to look closely, sometimes under magnification, to notice the subtle signs. But for those who know what to look for, these details are everything. And in the right condition, with the right error, a dime like this becomes more than just a curiosity. It becomes a collector's dream, but rarity alone doesn't determine value. Condition is just as important. Most 1976 dimes are heavily circulated, they've passed through countless hands, picked up scratches, and lost their original mint luster. They're scuffed, dull, and worn. But a very few were set aside early, preserved in near-perfect shape. These are the coins that never saw a cash register or a pocket. They were carefully handled, often stored in protective holders, and over time became some of the finest surviving examples of their kind. Professional grading companies assessed these coins, assigning them grades on a 70-point scale. A 1976 dime graded MS-67 or MS-68 is already rare. When one of those high-grade coins also includes a dramatic mint error, it's the perfect storm of rarity and desirability. What makes this story so remarkable is that these discoveries don't always happen in museums or professional collections. Sometimes, someone finds one of these coins in a coin roll they picked up from the bank. Or buried at the bottom of a change jar that hadn't been touched in years. One collector discovered a misstruck dime while sorting through coins from a relative's old collection, unaware at first that they had something incredibly rare. That's part of what makes the Roosevelt dime so fascinating. It's still in circulation today, and there are still hidden gems waiting to be uncovered. For decades, coin collectors have searched for the elusive combination of mint error and pristine condition. And in the case of the 1976 Roosevelt dime, that search has paid off in spectacular fashion. One particular coin, preserved in exceptional condition and bearing a rare, documented mint error, was authenticated and graded by top professionals. When it was placed up for auction, interest quickly spread throughout the coin-collecting community. The bids climbed rapidly as collectors and investors realized what they were looking at, one of the finest and rarest examples of the 1976 Roosevelt dime in existence, and when the final bid was called and the gavel came down, the crowd was left stunned. That one tiny dime, a piece of currency so many people had overlooked for years, sold for a jaw-dropping $118,000. Not bad for a coin that most people wouldn't glance at twice. This is the magic of coin collecting. It's about history, it's about mystery, and it's about the thrill of discovery. It reminds us that extraordinary things can be hiding in the most ordinary places. So the next time you're counting change, take a closer look at those dimes, especially if one of them is dated 1976. Because you never know when one little coin could change everything. Top 2. The 1996 Roosevelt 1 dime coin may seem like an ordinary, everyday item to most people. After all, it's just 10 cents, a coin that passes through our hands countless times without much thought. But what if I told you that the 1996 Roosevelt dime could be hiding a secret so valuable that it could change your financial life overnight? For some lucky coin collectors, this humble dime has proven to be much more than just pocket change. It's a rare, collectible treasure worth far more than its original face value. In fact, the 1996 Roosevelt dime, if in the right condition or with certain minting errors, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let's take a closer look at why this seemingly simple coin is such a prized possession in the world of numismatics. The history behind the Roosevelt dime goes back to 1946, when the coin was first introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, following his death in 1945. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime's obverse features a portrait of Roosevelt, while the reverse displays a combination of a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which are symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. These elements not only honor Roosevelt's legacy but also represent his values, which include unity, strength in adversity, and the pursuit of peace. For decades, the Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency, circulating among millions of Americans without attracting much attention. However, within the vast sea of dimes minted every year, some stand out, particularly the ones from the 1996 series. Now, most of the 1996 Roosevelt dimes produced were released into circulation, but as is often the case with currency, a few of these coins escaped the wear and tear that most coins undergo. Many of these dimes ended up in coin collections, never being spent or used in daily transactions. But it's not just the uncirculated coins that hold value, there are also those with minting errors, which can elevate a coin's worth to unexpected heights. These errors might range from double strikes to off-center impressions, die cracks, or even other distinctive features that make the coin different from the standard issue. These anomalies add a level of rarity that makes the coin much more desirable to collectors. Minting errors are fascinating in the world of numismatics. The U.S. Mint is a complex machine that produces billions of coins each year, but due to the high-speed nature of production, sometimes mistakes slip through the cracks. Most errors are caught during the minting process and discarded, but some coins make it into circulation, and these become the holy grail for coin enthusiasts. The 1996 Roosevelt dime is no exception. A rare coin featuring a double strike, an off-center design, or a die crack could fetch a premium at an auction. For collectors who specialize in minting errors, a single find of a unique 1996 Roosevelt dime can be worth thousands of dollars. In addition to minting errors, another factor that can increase the value of a 1996 Roosevelt dime is its condition. Like many coins, the more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Most dimes that circulated in 1996 experienced years of handling, and as a result, they exhibit the telltale signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and general damage from being in pockets, wallets, and change jars. But there's a small subset of 1996 dimes that were kept in perfect condition, never spent or even touched by human hands. These uncirculated dimes are far rarer and much more valuable, especially if they've been properly stored and preserved. Grading is a key aspect of coin collecting. Coins are graded based on their condition, and there's an entire industry around determining how well preserved a coin is. When a coin is sent to a grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, it's carefully examined and given a numerical grade. A coin with a higher grade is typically much more valuable. A 1996 Roosevelt dime that's graded at MS 65, mint state 65, or higher is an incredible find. These coins may have tiny imperfections, but they remain in near-perfect condition. But it doesn't stop there. A 1996 Roosevelt dime that's graded as MS 70, the highest possible grade, is in flawless condition and can fetch an astonishing price on the market that in fact, perfect or near-perfect examples of the 1996 Roosevelt dime have been sold for hefty sums at auctions. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are in excellent condition, as these coins are rare and represent the pinnacle of the U.S. Mint's production. Coins that have been carefully preserved for decades can fetch far more than their face value. In some cases, the value of a 1996 Roosevelt dime has surpassed $50,000, especially when coupled with a rare minting error or perfect grade. This is a clear indicator that coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a potential path to great financial reward. To further increase the excitement and allure of these dimes, some collectors are even specializing in acquiring specific error types or varieties from the 1996 series. For example, off-center dimes are prized because of their unusual, asymmetrical appearance. Coins that were struck with a misaligned die or off-center during the minting process have a unique, one-of-a-kind look. These coins stand out because they don't fit the standard mold, and their rarity makes them extremely sought after in the coin collecting community. Even more fascinating is the growing number of coin enthusiasts who are discovering these rare 1996 Roosevelt dimes. Through online auction sites and numismatic communities, collectors are sharing their findings, sparking bidding wars, and driving up the price of these valuable coins. It's a reminder that the world of coin collecting is far from stagnant. There are always new opportunities to find a gem among a pile of change. If you're someone who enjoys collecting coins or you're just starting to dip your toes into the world of numismatics, it's important to pay attention to coins like the 1996 Roosevelt dime. While the majority of these coins may only be worth 10 cents, you never know when you might come across one that could be worth thousands. As we've seen throughout history, coins like the 1996 Roosevelt dime can prove to be hidden treasures. Whether it's due to a minting error, perfect condition, or a rare variety, certain coins have the potential to increase in value over time, sometimes exponentially. A coin that was once seen as nothing more than a piece of pocket change could become a valuable asset. And, as we're about to reveal, this particular dime has fetched an incredible amount at auction. At a recent auction, a 1996 Roosevelt dime with a rare minting error and in pristine condition was sold for a staggering $85,000. So, next time you find yourself with a handful of dimes, don't just toss them aside. Take a moment to inspect them. You could be holding on to a piece of history, one that could make you a small fortune. Keep your eyes peeled, because the world of rare coins is filled with unexpected treasures waiting to be discovered. You just never know when you might stumble upon the next hidden gem that could change your life. Top 3. The 1999 Roosevelt 1 dime coin might seem like just another dime that you could easily pass over in your pocket change, but what if I told you that this specific coin has the potential to make you a small fortune? Most of us see dimes as mere pocket change, 10 cents here, 10 cents there, not really something worth paying attention to. However, there are certain versions of the 1999 Roosevelt dime that have captured the attention of collectors and numismatists alike. These coins hold an undeniable allure, and some of them are valued at staggering amounts. Before we delve into the details about why the 1999 Roosevelt dime is worth so much more than its face value, let's take a step back and look at the history behind this iconic coin. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1946, designed by John R. Cinnick in honor of the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The design features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse, and on the reverse, a combination of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Over the years, the Roosevelt dime has become a recognizable and reliable piece of American currency, used in millions of transactions, never garnering much attention except from those who are dedicated coin collectors. However, not all Roosevelt dimes are created equal. As is the case with many coins, the key to their value lies in their rarity, condition, and certain minting errors. The 1999 Roosevelt dime, while being one of the more recent additions in the series, contains the potential for greatness among the general circulation dimes. The dimes from this year have the potential to fetch hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the unique features they exhibit. The 1999 Roosevelt dime, like other years in the series, was minted at 3 different facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Typically, the coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint are considered the standard coins, while those minted at Denver and San Francisco carry a certain level of collector intrigue, especially those minted in proof quality. Proof coins are struck using a special process that results in a shiny, mirror-like finish, which makes them especially sought after by collectors who focus on perfect or near-perfect specimens. The 1999 dimes minted in proof quality, particularly from San Francisco, have captured the eye of collectors due to their rarity and exquisite finish, but what really sets the 1999 Roosevelt dime apart from other years in the series are the unique minting errors that have been discovered over time. While minting errors are often considered unfortunate mistakes, they can actually be the key to a coin's high value. Collectors specifically seek out coins with these rare errors, as they are much harder to find and, therefore, more valuable. Some of the most sought-after errors in the 1999 dimes include off-center strikes, double strikes, die cracks, and even misprints. These errors add a level of rarity to the coin, making it far more desirable to serious collectors. Off-center strikes occur when the coin isn't properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in part of the design being cut off or shifted. These coins are incredibly rare because they are usually caught before they are released into circulation. However, the ones that do make it into the hands of collectors are worth far more than their face value. The 1999 Roosevelt dimes that feature an off-center strike are among the most valuable of the bunch. Another error that has become increasingly popular among collectors is the double strike. This happens when a coin is struck more than once by the die, creating an overlapping or blurry design. Double-struck coins are rare and can be very valuable, depending on the degree of overlap and the overall condition of the coin. Dimes from 1999 with double strikes are in high demand, and these can fetch incredible sums at auctions. Die cracks are another intriguing error that adds to the value of a coin. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike the coin develops a crack, and this crack leaves an imprint on the coin's design. These coins are not only rare but also carry a historical significance, as they offer a glimpse into the physical wear and tear that the minting process can cause. The 1999 Roosevelt dimes with noticeable die cracks are highly coveted by collectors, and if you happen to come across one, you could be holding on to a small treasure. One of the most important aspects of determining a coin's value is its condition. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are far more valuable than those that have been used in everyday transactions. The 1999 Roosevelt dime, like other coins, was produced in large quantities and circulated widely. However, there are certain specimens that have been carefully preserved, kept in pristine condition, and protected from the elements. These uncirculated coins are typically graded by professional grading services, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and are assigned a grade based on their condition. A dime from 1999 that receives a high grade, such as MS65 or higher, can command a hefty price at auction, especially if it has a rare minting error. In fact, some 1999 Roosevelt dimes have fetched extraordinary amounts at auctions. For example, a 1999 Roosevelt dime with a rare minting error and a grade of MS67 was sold for over $50,000. This demonstrates how a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents can turn into a substantial sum if it possesses the right characteristics. The key is recognizing these rare features, whether they be minting errors, pristine condition, or a particularly low mintage, and understanding the true value they add to the coin. Collectors and investors alike are always on the lookout for these hidden gems, and with the rise of online auction platforms and coin marketplaces, more and more people are becoming aware of the potential wealth that can be found in their spare change. The 1999 Roosevelt dime, once just a common coin in circulation, is now being recognized as a valuable asset in the world of numismatics. Whether you're an experienced collector or a newcomer to the hobby, the 1999 Roosevelt dime is a coin worth keeping an eye on. You never know when you might come across one that could change your financial future. The allure of rare coins like the 1999 Roosevelt dime lies in the fact that they carry both historical significance and the potential for tremendous financial gain. A dime that was once just a small piece of currency has transformed into a highly sought-after collector's item, and this trend is likely to continue for years to come. As we wrap up this exploration of the 1999 Roosevelt dime, it's clear that its value goes far beyond its face value. The rarity, condition, and unique features of this coin make it a treasure for collectors, and as we've seen in recent years, these dimes can sell for impressive amounts at auctions. In fact, the highest auction price for a 1999 Roosevelt dime to date was $80,000. That's right, a single dime worth only 10 cents can command a price of $80,000 at auction when it possesses the right combination of minting errors, pristine condition, and collector demand. So, the next time you come across a 1999 Roosevelt dime in your pocket change, take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know if you're holding onto a coin worth a small fortune. Keep an eye out for the rare finds, and who knows, you could be the next one to stumble upon a hidden gem that turns your dime into a treasure trove of wealth. Top 4. The 2015 USA 1 dime coin may seem like just another coin in your pocket change, but don't let its small size and familiar design fool you. In the world of numismatics, certain coins have the ability to transcend their face value and become highly sought-after treasures. The 2015 Roosevelt dime is one of those coins, with potential values that can surprise even the most seasoned coin collectors. While it's not the first coin that comes to mind when you think about valuable dimes, the 2015 edition has caught the attention of collectors and investors alike for a variety of reasons. So, let's take a closer look at this often overlooked coin and see what makes it stand out in the world of rare coins. The history of the Roosevelt dime dates back to 1946, when the United States Mint decided to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt with a new coin design. Franklin D. Roosevelt, who served as the 32nd President of the United States, passed away in 1945, and the decision to memorialize him on a coin was made shortly after his death. The design of the Roosevelt dime was created by artist John R. Sinek, who was also responsible for the design of the Roosevelt half-dollar coin. The dime features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse, while the reverse showcases a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. For years, the Roosevelt dime remained a staple of American currency, and many Americans have used the coin in their daily transactions without thinking much about it. However, as with most coins, some versions are rarer or more special than others, and these are the coins that attract the interest of collectors. The 2015 Roosevelt dime, in particular, stands out for a variety of reasons, from its design to the minting errors that make it an interesting piece for numismatists. The design of the 2015 Roosevelt dime is similar to the designs of previous years, but there are subtle differences that collectors look for. For example, 2015 was the year the U.S. Mint released the dimes as part of their ongoing production for circulation. This year's edition was made in both uncirculated and proof versions, the latter being specially struck and polished for collectors. Coins that are part of proof sets, with their flawless, mirror-like finish, are often worth more than coins that have been circulated. The 2015 proof Roosevelt dime, especially those that are in pristine condition, are highly desirable to collectors who appreciate the attention to detail in the minting process. In addition to the proof coins, there are also other factors that contribute to the value of a 2015 Roosevelt dime. One of the key elements in determining a coin's value is its rarity. While the 2015 dime was produced in large quantities, some of them were issued with minting errors, which can make them exceptionally rare and valuable. The world of minting errors is where things get interesting for collectors. Coins that have been struck with imperfections, whether it's off-center strikes, double strikes, or other unusual markings, are often highly prized by those looking to add rare specimens to their collections. Minting errors are not something that the U.S. Mint intends to happen, but they are a part of the coin production process. When these errors do occur, the coins become all the more interesting to collectors because they are considered mistakes that make each one unique. Some of the most common minting errors for the 2015 Roosevelt dime include off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during the minting process, and die cracks, where the die that stamps the coin becomes damaged, leaving an imprint on the coin's design. These errors can significantly increase the value of a coin, especially if it is in good condition. Condition is another critical factor in determining the value of a 2015 Roosevelt dime. Coins that have been well preserved, with minimal wear and no noticeable damage, are typically graded higher than coins that have been used in circulation for many years. The grading process, done by professional services such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, assigns a numerical grade to a coin based on its overall appearance. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins with high grades, such as MS66 or MS67, can command much higher prices, especially if they are accompanied by a unique feature like a minting error. For example, if you were to come across a 2015 Roosevelt dime with a flawless appearance and a rare minting error, the coin could easily fetch thousands of dollars at auction. While the standard 2015 Roosevelt dime in circulated condition is worth just 10 cents, a coin in pristine condition with a minting error could see its value rise dramatically. As collectors become more aware of these rarer versions of the coin, the demand for them increases, further driving up their price. In recent years, there has been an increasing interest in modern coins, such as the 2015 Roosevelt dime, as collectors and investors seek to diversify their portfolios. Coins like the 2015 dime, which are still relatively new but have rare features or minting errors, are seen as a way to invest in the future of numismatics. Many people have turned to coin collecting not only as a hobby but as a way to secure a piece of financial history. And the 2015 Roosevelt dime is one of those coins that could potentially bring a significant return on investment. So, what does this all mean for the value of the 2015 Roosevelt dime? While the majority of the coins from this year are still in circulation and worth only 10 cents, the few that stand out due to their unique features, whether it's a minting error, pristine condition, or limited production, have the potential to fetch a higher price. The value of a 2015 Roosevelt dime can range anywhere from a few dollars for a coin in good condition with no errors, to several $1,000s for a rare proof coin or a coin with a significant minting error. The most valuable examples of the 2015 Roosevelt dime can be sold at auction for as much as $21,000, depending on their condition and rarity. So, next time you go through your change, don't dismiss the 2015 Roosevelt dime as just another coin. Take a closer look. You might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 2015 Roosevelt dime is one to watch in the world of numismatics. Its combination of historical significance, unique minting features, and potential for high value makes it a coin that could add significant worth to any collection. Who knows? You could be holding on to a coin that might just make you a small fortune.